this is Jill Hope here with Unleash Your Inner Wealth. And today I want to talk to you about how you can pivot your business during times of challenge. And this is certainly a time of challenge, isn't it? So what I'm going to share with you today is for you if you own a business, okay? Because it's not business as usual right now. And I'm sure I don't need to tell you that, right? But I do want to share with you some things that I have discovered just by being in this. You know, it's been about, as of the time of the making of this video, it's been about 8 weeks that we've been locked down. And I know there's different levels of opening in different parts of the country and the world, but not in my area yet. And so I just want to share some of the things that I discovered. It was part of my process to sort of regroup and connect with my higher self, spirit, and what I was guided to do. And I think there might be some things here that can really help you. This does not take more importance over what you discover to be coming from your higher self. So I do think it's really important that you are also tapping in and you're getting your own personal guidance. But I do want to share this because I really do think there's some nuggets here that can help. So there's two components, first off, that I want to spend a few minutes talking about that I think is really, really crucial. The first one is connection. And we hear that word thrown around, you know, we're trying to be connected because we are sort of forced to be apart right now. And so there's different ways to do that, and people are doing a great job at really trying to be connected. But the type of connection that I am personally talking about has to do with determining what people need right now. It's reaching out to people in your community and asking them, how are you doing? How is it going for you? What needs do you have that need to be met? What are you craving for? What's not working for you? What do you wish you had? It's that sort of level of understanding, you know, because when you're not able to talk to people and connect with people the way we normally do, one of the first things as humans we want to do is we want to share how we're feeling. We want to share what's going on with us. We want someone to hear us, someone to listen to us. But the type of connection I'm talking about is really where you reach out and you be the listener and you allow someone else to share. People are desiring to share how they're feeling in a lot of ways. I mean, not everybody, but a lot of people are. They want to talk and they want to be heard. They want to feel heard. So you can really do a huge service to the people in your community by just giving them a space to share how they're feeling. The other part of that goes kind of hand in hand is creativity. Right now, we are not even living in the box anymore. We need to think outside the box because that's where we are. So where do we start? Where do we start with thinking outside the box and being creative when it comes to our businesses? Well, I know that there are people out there who have suggested that if you don't have a business that is offering a relevant product right now, not that it isn't normally, but given what's going on, if you don't have something that's relevant, a relevant product or service, you might want to consider pausing your business. I don't disagree with that. However, I think that probably for most of us, there probably is something relevant that we can offer. And it takes a little self-reflection, a little looking within. So one of the things that I did and that I'm suggesting that you might want to give a shot to is I did a self-assessment. And I grouped it into 3 different categories. And I actually, you could take a notebook and you could draw 3 columns and you could do this exercise for yourself. But in the first column, I listed the things that were my skills. What skills do I have that I can share with other people that can actually help them? So I got a list of my skills. Then in the second column, I asked myself, what are my assets right now? What do I have as part of my business assets that could help someone. So this was different programs that I've already created. This is actually, I have a licensing and certification program. So I've got certified facilitators that I consider great assets in my business. So, my facilitators is a strong asset that I can access. So you list out all of the assets that you have available to you as part of your business. And then the third column is, what do you enjoy doing? What lights you up? Because there's this famous quote that goes something like this: just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. And I tell myself that all the time because, and I know you're probably the same way. There are lots of things that you're probably really good at. I mean, that first column will probably be really long, but just because you're good at something doesn't mean that you need to do that. It really needs to be a marriage between what you're good at and what you enjoy doing, what lights you up, and then what people need, right? That's the third piece. So in this exercise, what I'm suggesting is look at your skills. What are you good at? Look at your other business assets that you have, and look at what you actually enjoy doing. Find where those things intersect. And from that place, that's where you want to start thinking outside the box. Now, you take that and you marry all of that with what people need to see how you can actually step up and serve. And as an example, this is something that I did at this very, very, very beginning, very early days of when they announced that we needed to kind of, shut down and, protect in place, that stay protected in place, or whatever that saying is I did this exercise. And what I discovered is that, we've got these curriculums, these social emotional curriculums that can be really beneficial for people right now, because there's a lot of people that are experiencing anxiety. They're experiencing grief because they're missing out on life events that they were really looking forward to. People are having a lot of feelings that they're missing the social connections. People need a lot of support there. And I knew that. So here I have these programs, but we have a caveat in the programs that, or in the licensing agreement rather, that says that you cannot teach the programs online. And the reason for that is because they're very interactive, and they're proven to work when people are together, when children are together and they're interacting and they're doing these activities together. So we have that as a stipulation, but in where we're at today, people can't get together. So I was inspired to lift that stipulation temporarily and then see how we could teach this stuff online. How could we modify it to teach it online? It was very successful. I collaborated with a number of our facilitators. We all got together. We were doing stuff that we didn't know how to do, but we figured it out, and we created something amazing, and people gave us great feedback on it. People loved the program. So I'm suggesting that you take a look, self-inventory your business, yourself, your business, and reach out to your customers. It's connection and it's creativity together that can help you and help inform how you are going to pivot, rather. Now, a couple other things I want to share here. One is money, okay? How do we price things right now? I'll be honest with you, when this first happened, all I wanted to do was give everything for free. I just wanted to share. I wanted to give as much as I could. I wanted to help as much as I could. I was worried about people, what their financial situations were going to be. Certainly, we have a lot of people that are having a very challenging financial time right now. But on the other side, we have a lot of people that aren't. There are people that are busier than ever right now, just because of the nature of how things are working right now, and they have not been affected financially. So what the point of this is that you don't have to automatically assume that you can't charge money or that everything has to be free. There are a lot of people that can and want to pay to support small businesses right now. So just keep these things in mind when you're charging. If it feels good to you and it comes from an authentic place to give without charging, definitely do that. But If it's coming from anything other than you really want to, then, and you do it anyways, what will likely happen is you'll have some level of resentment at a certain point. And this happens because it's really important that not only, when you're giving, that you're giving and sharing from an authentic place, but that you're also being nurtured as well. If that equation is off balance at all, then you're going to feel it, and it's not going to feel very good. So just keep that in mind as you come up with pricing. You may come up, we came up with, in the example I shared earlier, our way to deal with that pricing wise was we had a pay what you can. And we had different levels, and people could go anywhere from free to full price. And I let people choose based on where they're at. Will I always price that way? No, but right now that felt really good to me. And I did feel nurtured in that choice. But you've got to make a choice that feels good to you when it comes to the money. Lastly, what I want to say here, and this kind of goes back to the creativity part. When you're looking at what you have to offer, and you're thinking outside the box, because we're living outside the box right now, you want to make sure that, you've probably got things that you've been offering one way for, a long time, right? But how could you offer that very same thing with maybe a few tweaks in a slightly different way that would actually meet a need now that maybe if you offered it the normal way wouldn't meet a need, if you see what I'm saying? So, we're just really looking at, how could I do this differently? Kind of looking at your business as if, you're a consultant, and you're looking at it and seeing what have I maybe not ever considered, or maybe discounted about how I do my business, that is maybe worth circling back to or reconsidering. Because, if you're someone who's sitting there thinking, well, yeah, nothing's relevant, my business is not relevant right now, maybe there's a way it can be. So I'm just sharing this so that you don't immediately discount that you have something to offer, because if you're listening to this, I know you've got so much to offer that you can really be blessing someone right now, and you actually can be making good money right now. But it's going to take some self-reflection, some really looking at what's going on, and having a nice clean fresh eye, and a different perspective to maybe see things a little bit differently. Okay. This is a time of reinvention. And if you don't have the flexibility to reinvent yourself, this might be a really challenging time for you. You can choose to be a victim of what's going on, or you can choose to be a leader during this time. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, I have been both through this entire thing. There are some days where I feel like a victim, and I frankly wallow in that. And then there's other days where I get really inspired ideas, I feel really creative, and I'm stepping up as the leader that I know I am. So it's a choice every day. You have to make that choice for yourself, and you have to re-choose what you want every single day in order for it to manifest in your life. There will be, there's certain people who in this time, you can really become the leader that you've always wanted to be. You can step up, you can connect with people, you can be creative, and you can share your gifts and why you're here. And I know that's you. I know you can do that. And I hope that what I've shared here today can be a little bit of inspiration for you to help you look at things a little differently, look at your situation differently, and rise up as that leader that I know that you are. This has been Jill Hope. I hope this is helpful for you. If you would, please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done that yet. I took a little hiatus from making these videos, I know, because I threw myself into the other project. It's what intuitively felt right to me at that time. But I'm back now. I'll be making regular videos for you once again. So please subscribe so you get notified when my next video comes out very soon. And if you would, please share this video with anyone that you think this could help, who has a business and might be struggling a little bit. Please help me get this message out. I can only do so much to share this information. I really need you to help me. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for sharing. And I'll be with you again with another video on how to create abundance in your life and in your business very soon. Until then, stay well.